Well, we looked a long time for the right school for Esme, and we travelled down as a family to look at Hamilton Lodge. And the thing that struck us and that we kept talking about after we left was the atmosphere and how the children had engaged with all of the teachers and they'd engaged with us as we'd walk round. And it was a really strong, very personable but caring environment. And for us, that was a very important fact. When we were looking around for a school, Esme was in a unit in a mainstream school. It was a very good unit, a very strong unit, had 6 or 7 children in that unit. What we found that it was limiting her education to the point where she didn't have direct access to the curriculum, and that was an incredibly important point for us, that she could interpret what the teacher was saying directly and not have that interpretation. So the difference for us is that she's also increased her social skills. She's now within her peer group, but outside of her peer group it's had exactly the same effect. She's now far more confident with hearing children, and for us, taking her from a unit to a school for the deaf has been without doubt one of the best things we've done. And the unit was a very strong unit, but it just wasn't right for that environment, and I think for her communication and confidence it's been a fabulous move. When I said before we had a long look, we actually were living in the Wirral at the time, and we'd looked up and down the country, and it was a very important move for us. It was 280 miles, so it was not done without a degree of commitment to that. But that's how strongly we felt about the school, that we'd actually moved from one end of the country to the other, because it was that important. And this was the place that we found that gave us all of the things, because it was, apart from what I've said before around the atmosphere, Esme's education has absolutely come on leaps and bounds. Her communication skills, her learning has just revolutionised where she is in a small amount of time, really. So we're absolutely thrilled with the choice for both her personally and her education. Esme absolutely adores school. She was recently in hospital and had an operation, and the most excited she was on the Sunday night when she was going back to school the next day. And it really is the reinforcement of what I've said about how good the school is, both from an educational perspective but also from a pastoral perspective. Her friends, the teachers, it is often said, but it is genuinely like a family, and Esme absolutely is thrilled to come back to school. So for her, it's part and parcel of what she does. In terms of the future, Esme has been talking about what she'd like to do, and we are very happy that the college and the school here goes into the college, because it's the continuation and the security around the education and the standard of education that Esme receives here continues into the college. And there are a lot of people we've met that have been through the college, and for us that's a fantastic opportunity for Esme to just continue and do her further education in this environment.